y'all. My name is Sebastian Cardenas. I'm a first-year core member with Teach for America, and I'm teaching U.S. history here in Rancho High School. I was born in Chihuahua, Mexico. My family moved over when I was about 1, and since I was a little kid, grew up watching everyone in my family work super hard. My mom had 2 jobs. I barely got the chance to see her when I was young. My older brother and my grandma, they were the ones that had raised me primarily. And I felt like I wasn't carrying my weight, and I was 5, right? So what I did what any 5-year-old would do, I sat my mom down. I was like, look, Mom, I want to get a job at McDonald's. You can drop me off before. I get free Happy Meals, like I can help out, and it's a win-win. And she sat me down, she laughed because, it's funny, but she said, Mijo, you already have the most important job in the household. You're a student. If you study, if you get good grades, if you do all the things you're supposed to do, you'll get a scholarship, you'll go to college, and you'll make life better for all of us. So from there, I got obsessed with being a good student, straight A's. I had my first college and career counseling session when I was in the 8th grade. And the conversation started off great. It was like, oh my gosh, you're straight A student, all these volunteer hours, you're like a model for what every student should be. But then we started looking at the actual scholarship requirements, and it was like citizenship, and I didn't realize that I was undocumented. So that's when I learned, and the conversation turned from there's no way you're not gonna go to college to I don't even know if college is an option for you. So that year of my life, like I learned what being an immigrant here is. My family shielded me from a lot of that reality, even though I grew up with the struggles, right? And that's when the people around me, like Mr. Wen, who was a TFA teacher at Sunrise Mountain that I assisted, let me know that there is a way forward, and I'm here today because of that.
When I first arrived at Rancho, my admin team and other teachers and really kind of the movers and shakers of Rancho faculty told me, you've got to jump into Sebastian's class. That's one of the first places you have to go. And then I immediately went in there. He stops his lesson and shows me the pledge. The kids do it, and actually in that class, one of the kids led it, and they did it, and just his interaction with the kids, and it was, from that moment, I'm standing here in front of a natural.
I know I can be who I wanna be. I wanna be proud, healthy, and free. Love myself and understand that I can make things work even if they see. I'm going to do all I can do to make sure all my dreams become true. Welcome back, y'all.
He understands how to be a teacher. He gets the relationship building. He understands the importance of community in the classroom. It's a great place. He's such a bright light on our campus.
Ayudarles a la gente. No le hace quien sea, siempre ayudar a la gente es lo que nos ha enseñado.
He goes above and beyond to make sure we understand everything.
He is already extremely student-centered. He is all about the discourse. He is all about making it relevant. He leverages English standards and the English curriculum through the lens of history for our students to constantly be building on their receptive and productive side of language, which is that reading, writing, listening, and speaking. But he also is all about making it engaging and drawing them in. And he is not the star of the show because we know that the person who's doing most of the talking is doing most of the learning. So he is really encouraging his students to speak, not just to him, but to each other. That is amazing to see from officially a first-year core member, but definitely someone that's just early in the career. He is fearless, he is encouraging, and he is supportive of making sure that his students are gaining the skills that they need while they're with him, and it'll last way longer than the years that they spend in his classroom.
And I know teachers are mostly just for teaching, but he made me feel like as a student, I was more than that, and that I had a bright future.
Because of my background, I felt like I wasn't worthy of my dreams anymore, right? All the obstacles put in front of you, these students have to overcome not only immigration problems, but assimilating here. A lot of my best friends from high school had the issue of the language barrier also, and they felt like they couldn't show off how smart they were because they were doing it in a second language. It was that limitation. I've made my classroom for those students a place where they can show their creativity, show how amazing they are in both languages. It helps both types of students, right? Those that only speak English, they learn a little bit of Spanish, and they get to build that social emotional piece, or that community piece, right? Being able to overcome a language barrier, which is incredibly important, especially here in Las Vegas.
Además de ser siempre humildes, siempre estar atentos, siempre dar lo mejor de sí en uno mismo, siempre traer la energía de decir, este es mi día, se lo voy a hacer hoy y puedo hacer lo que siempre he hecho y así.
On the other end, though, the students get to be empowered. Those students that always feel like, okay, because I don't speak English, I don't have a place here. Now they're the ones helping the students that don't speak Spanish. Oh, you want to learn more about how the Cold War affected Central America? Like, my family's from El Salvador. Like, let me talk to you about that. And they end up in a place where some of them cry at the thought of presenting, and they end up teaching a lesson on like their home country, or how their American story formed, and how they're reaching their American dream. And at the end of the day, I learned more from them than I could ever hope to teach them.